Hello, my name is Dave Luce. I'm the president of MCS, and today we're going to talk about a exciting new product that we released last year, the Merlin 146C. It's a process color cut sheet inkjet press. After 1 year, it's been tremendously successful. So what we're going to do today is to review some data that we collected during the last year. One of the biggest surprises is how competitive it is compared to traditional printing process with black and white laser printing. So inkjet printing versus traditional offset printing and laser printing the variable data on the shells. And we're going to use a quantity of 25,000 pieces for this example. So to get started, like I said, we picked a 25,000 piece job just because it was pretty common with our customers. It's still competitive, even up past 100,000 pieces. But the one area of the market that has not seen the influence of inkjet has been the smaller volumes. So there's a lot of large shops out there that do smaller volume jobs, and there's a lot of small shops that do smaller volume jobs, and very few have inkjets. So this product really fits that niche very well. It's a low-cost inkjet with a low operational cost. So let's start with this the specifics. I'm going to start off with the big numbers first, and then I'm going to back into it with the details. So what we did is we took a job and we had our customer quoted to their trade printers, and they got 3 quotes, and this was the cheapest quote for 25,000 pieces, including paper. It was $27.80 a thousand, and the turnaround time was 3 to 5 days, and that's pretty typical in the industry. And obviously, to do that, you have to send them the artwork, you have to prove the artwork, and then they have to offset print it, and then they have to send it to the mail shop for variable data. And when you're variable printing the black data on a press, you're typically using one of a couple models out there, and typically it's between 120 and 150 pages per minute. So a job like this would take about 4 hours, and if you include the click, which I use $3.50 a thousand, and add the depreciation, we came up with $5.83 a thousand. And so the entire shell was the cost of the printing process, which was 4 over 0, and the black and white imaging, including depreciation, is $33.63. When you inkjet, you avoid most of the processes. You basically do the pre-press and the variable proofing at the same time. You send it to the machine, and this machine is faster than most cut sheet laser printers. 1 up, it's 146 pages per minute. If you do 2 up, 11 by 17, you net above 170 pages per minute. So it's fairly fast, and obviously inkjet is a lot simpler technology, so it tends to be a lot more reliable, a lot less downtime. And you come up with a number of $17.96. Now what that includes is the paper, the ink, the parts, and the depreciation. That's an all-in number. So $33.63 compared to $17.96. And that really shows the revolution of inkjet. That's why the majority of mail is produced on inkjets today. About over 90% of statements are produced on inkjet, but just under 60% of advertising mail is done on inkjets today. So there's a couple, obvious benefits to inkjet. One is your decreased cost per page, which is huge. It's big, that's a huge margin maker right there at that difference. So you have a decreased cost. Also buys you manufacturing time. You can see the 3 to 5 days not only gives you 3 to 5 days more to manufacture, but if you have any mistakes or if you need to do reprints, it's a great value to have that option. And it's great with shortages. You don't have to worry about shortages. If you print one or 50,000, it's the same amount of cost. So there's no problem with shortages. And then it allows you to do digital color at the most competitive prices possible. Most people overthink color, digital color. The simplest applications are a ballpoint blue message in handwriting, or something real simple. It doesn't have to be elaborate to be successful with process color. So $15,000 is a tremendous amount of money per million savings. So if you did 1,000,000 letters, the cost difference of doing that type of work, say 5,000 to 100,000 pieces per job, 1,000,000 a month letters, you would save $15,000 per month. And that's why Inkjet is dominating the advertising mail space in the statement mail space. So just to back into these numbers, I'm going to go through how we got to them. So shell printing is done either an in-house press or a trade printer. And we're using 60-pound offset as our example. 8.5 by 14 duplex, 8.5 by 11 simplex. And we did 3 quantities, and you can see it's still very competitive, but we're going to use 25,000 as an example. 25,000, 8.5 by 14. So we're doing black and white lasering after we do the shells. And we come out with $5.83, and that includes depreciation. And $11.66 for a duplex 8.5 by 14. And that's fairly common. Some people might be paying less, click, more, click. That includes toner. That's a pretty competitive number. So we have the click cost and the depreciation. So 25,000 forms, $27.80 equals $33.63 a thousand per image, and $50.86 a thousand for the 8.5 by 14 duplex, including the black and white imaging. Obviously, my sample has some process color in it. I'm just lazy. That's our PDF that we use for samples for the 146. Obviously, you can do that on this press. It doesn't really cost you anything more than a black and white job. So that's the beauty of Inkjet. It doesn't matter what color you print in, your costs are the same. So paper, 8.5 by 11, 60-pound offset. If you buy in quantity, you can get as low as $9 a thousand. $12 a thousand for 8.5 by 14. This varies depending on how far you are from the mills, but we recommend you buy a truckload at a time. Think of a month's worth of inventory. We found that the paper price had huge discrepancies around the country based on the volume you buy. Once again, it's pretty straightforward. The ink and the parts, we're using $1.50 per thousand in the parts, way conservative. It's probably $1 less, around $1 a thousand, but we're using that number to be conservative. We have depreciation there at $3.50, and so your total cost, including the machine, not including paper, is $8.96. We do have a $500 a month telephone fee, which is equivalent to 50 cents a thousand if you do 1,000,000 a month. And then you're $15.65 a thousand if you do 9 by 12. Not 9 by 12, 8.5 by 14 duplex. So you take the imaging cost, take the paper cost, and that's your total product cost per thousand per process. So once again, the discount is huge. $1,000,000 a month is not a big challenge for a lot of mail shops. We tell people once you get above 6 to 10 million a month, you have to go web. It's all about volume. Depreciation is a big part of the cost of this, and also the finishing equipment. So once you get over, 10 million a month, the workflow of a continuous form is a lot more efficient than Cutsheet. But if you're doing less than 10 million a month, and you already have the finishing equipment for Cutsheet, this is a great option. So this is a spreadsheet we can give you if you're interested in the details. You can put your own numbers in for your current cost and volume, and it will tell you how much you will save. So if you reach out to your salesperson at MCS, your digital salesperson, they'll be able to give this, and you can work out some economics of your own. And we have a 4-step process that's real simple. It's a free qualification process. And what it does 2 things. One, it sees if you're a good candidate for this technology. We don't want to waste your time, and we don't want to go through a big process if it's not a win-win. So we recommend you go through this process and you get 2 things out of it. One, you see if there's a new technology that can help you make more money. And 2, you can understand the economics of Inkjet. Even if you don't end up investing in it, you'll understand the economics of Inkjet for the future. If you see some opportunities out there, you'll understand the economics of Inkjet. So One is just it starts with a telephone call with your rep. The second one is you send PDF samples to us, and we analyze them for both quality and image cost. The third thing we do is a video conference call. Our demo facility outside of Chicago is a fully functional TV studio, so we do a live demo of the equipment and answer questions. And then the fourth thing is we give you a business review that gives you all the costs, the price of the machine, the cost of operation, and the cost of your jobs to see if it makes sense for you. This is a free process that, if nothing else, it's well worth your time to understand the economics of Inkjet. So I appreciate your time today. If you think that there's any opportunity to explore Inkjet, reach out to your MCS digital salesperson today, and we'd be glad to walk you through the process.